See, I'm right back. I'm getting off the track again. Let me not do this. Let me continue reading. Chapter 1, verse 26. And the man went into the land of the Hittites and built a city and called the name thereof Luz, that's L-U-Z, which is the name thereof unto this day. Neither did Manasseh, all these brothers, drive out the inhabitants of Beth Shean and her towns, nor Tanakh and her towns, nor the inhabitants of Dor and her towns, nor the inhabitants of Iblaam and her towns, nor the inhabitants of the Megiddo and her towns, but the Canaanites would dwell in that land. And it came to pass, when Israel was strong, that they put the Canaanites to tribute. They made them slaves and did not utterly drive them out. Now, does anybody have any idea of why I'm reading this stuff? And God explained what happened with the different countries and the people. Oh, I got stuff all over the place. Because it's happening today. People do not follow the commandments of God. They follow men. And there is total destruction. Look what happened not too far from San Antonio, Texas. The guy went out there and started killing people, in a church. Okay, verse 29. Oh, boy. Neither did Ephraim drive out the Canaanites that dwelt in Gezer, but the Canaanites dwelt in Gezer among them. You see, they're starting to live together. Now, not everybody worships the same God, you understand? There is God, and then there's people like Allah, the devil, you see, and they're mingling together. They're marrying each other, they're raping each other, and they're having babies. Babies. What happens to the babies in America? Planned Parenthood happens to the babies in America. They kill our children. Yet they allow these people from other lands to give birth, and they call them Americans. They are not Americans. Neither did Zebulun, that's another brother, drive out the inhabitants of Kitron, nor the inhabitants of Nahalal, but the Canaanites dwelt among them and became tributaries. Now we're making slaves, man. We're making slaves. Does that ring a bell? You know who's a slave? All of us people who are the underdogs in America, we're all slaves. The government takes your money, okay? And if you don't give it to them, the worst that can happen to you, I think, is death. But they'll lock you up. They'll take all your stuff. They'll put you in the poorhouse, man. Everybody has to pay their taxes, or all your stuff is just taken away from you. Now, they want you to work. They want you to get money. The root of all evil. Speaking of evil, a lot of evil demons. Don't be a part of it. Neither did Asher drive out the inhabitants of Acho, nor the inhabitants of Zidon, nor of Alab, nor of Akzib, nor of Helbah, nor of Aphik, nor of Rehob. You imagine the names of these towns? Isn't New York and Chicago and Boston, doesn't that sound a little easier? All full of evil. Now, there are some people of God in there, don't get me wrong there. He's got his people, and at the right time, they'll stand up. Right now, they're hiding under a rock. They're wimps. But the Asherites dwelt among the Canaanites, the inhabitants of the land, for they did not drive them out. Neither did Naphtali. Naphtali, that's his name. Oh, this light and everything. Neither did Naphtali drive out the inhabitants of Beth Shemesh. All right. I'm not going to read all their names. I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to do a Marco Rubio. You got to drink water. I'm not going to read all the names of these towns. What you get is some of the people they conquered 100% and others they did not. And they started intermarrying and becoming followers of the wrong God. After all this was going on, God finally steps up. Check this out. Chapter 2 in the book of Judges, verse 1. And an angel of the Lord came up from Gilgal to Bochim and said, came up from Gilgal. What, was this guy living there? I don't know. I made you to go up out of Egypt. That's when God brought Israel out of Egypt. And have brought you unto the land which I swear unto your fathers. This is the angel speaking for God. You ever have an angel talk to you face to face? Awesome. And I said, now this is the angel speaking, and he's speaking the words of God. And I said, I will never break my covenant with you. That was his promise. And ye shall make no league with the inhabitants of this land. But they were living together. Ye shall throw down their altars, but ye have not obeyed my voice. Why have ye done this? That's the angel asking the peeps, man. Wherefore, I also said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be as thorns in your sides, and their gods shall be a snare unto you. What goes around comes around. And it came to pass, when the angel of the Lord spake these words unto all the children of Israel, that the people lifted up their voice and wept. And they called the name of that place Bochim, and they sacrificed there unto the Lord. To what avail? Who knows? And when Joshua had let the people go, the children of Israel went every man unto his inheritance to possess the land. And the people served the Lord all the days of Joshua. all the days of Joshua. That was why he was being the judge. And all the days of the elders that outlived Joshua. Now it says how old Joshua was here. Maybe we'll get to it. The elders, he's talking about the elders who had seen all the great works of the Lord that he did for Israel. And Joshua, the son of Nun, N-U-N, the servant of the Lord, died, being 110 years old. He was 110. And they buried him in the border of his inheritance in Timnath-Heres, in the mount of Ephraim, on the north side of the hill Gaash. Far out words, man. I dig it. And also all that generation were gathered unto their fathers. All the generation of Joshua died, according to this word. And there arose another generation after them, which knew not the Lord. That's what's happening here in America. Guys in my generation, maybe my kids, another generation, we have opportunity to read the Bible and follow it. But all the younger kids, it's taken out of the schools. It's being prohibited in America. They know not God. They walk amongst evil people. And also that generation were gathered unto their fathers. And there arose another generation after them, which knew not the Lord, nor yet the works which he had done for Israel. All the information was being pushed aside. Now, when you get further up into this book, you find out how they get back into it and all that stuff, but we're nowhere near that yet. And I don't mean the book of Judges either. I mean the Bible. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord and served Baalim, Satan. And who did it? The children of Israel. They didn't know God. They served the gods of those other people. All evil. Allah, Buddha, all that kind of stuff, man. I don't even know the names of the other ones. Those are the ones that you hear all the time. And they forsook the Lord God of their fathers, which brought them out of the land of Egypt, and followed other gods of the gods of the people that were round about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked the Lord to anger. Can you imagine that? Can't you see that happening? Open your eyes. Get yourself a Bible and start reading it. And read it fully. All of it. Stick it in your head. Give the Lord a chance to prove himself to you. Those who diligently seek God find him, but you want to find him in the right way. If you're doing the wrong stuff, you don't have to diligently seek him, because you will find him, and you ain't going to be happy about it. And they forsook the Lord and served Baal and Ashtaroth. Ashtaroth. I wonder if that's the god that they worship on Sunday. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he delivered them into the hands of spoilers that spoiled them, and he sold them into the hands of their enemies round about, so that they could not any longer stand before their enemies. When God withdraws from you, Satan moves in, and it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant, folks. Whithersoever they went, or wherever they went. But this guy likes to write it like whithersoever. How about that? Hither and yon, to and fro, huh? Whithersoever they went. Whithersoever they went out, wherever they went out, the hand of the Lord was against them for evil, as the Lord had said, and as the Lord had sworn unto, turn the page, them. And they were greatly distressed. All because they do not obey God. It's so simple to do. And I am a witness for that. The more you do it, the easier it is to do it. I'm sitting here at my little desk, feeling absolutely comfortable reading and spending time with God. God says that he inhabits the praises of men. You know what the word inhabits means? I inhabit this house, man. I'm in here. God inhabits the praises of men. You need to worship him. It's not like bowing down to the Chinese boss over there in China like Obama did. I think that's the guy that he bowed to. Obama must have pooped in his pants. He must have been so afraid. You imagine that? Communist Muslim. All right, I got another minute here. Let's see. Verse 16 in chapter 2. Nevertheless, the Lord raised up judges, which delivered them out of the hand of those that spoiled them. He let it go on for a length of time, and then he brought another person into their lives to be a go-between between them and our God. And yet they would not hearken unto their judges, but they went a-whoring after other gods, and bowed themselves unto them. They turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked in, obeying the commandments of the Lord, their fathers. But they did not so. I got to mark this right here. And I'm going to knock this off for a moment, and I'll be right back.